Suprabhat, Namaskar, and good morning to all. With the verse of Upanishad, I like to start this session. Asto ma sadgamay, tamso ma jyotirgamay means Almighty guide us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. With this enlightening thought, I, Rohit Kumar, Assistant Professor, Don Bosco Institute of Technology, New Delhi, extend a very warm welcome to all the esteemed participants and respected guests. To the last day of the session, first session, AI ethics, safety and institutional guidance. We look forward to an insightful and engaging session as we explore how AI is reshaping academic practices and institutional excellence. Now, it's my honor to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Professor Anuradha Jain, Principal WIPS GGS IPU. Professor Anuradha Jain, Professor and Principal WIPS and a distinguished academician over 20 years of teaching experience, a scholar from the University of Bombay and IIM Calcutta. She has strong engagement in curricular and co-curricular development. An economist by training, her areas of interest include international trade, international business. She has authored numerous research papers, chaired expert sessions at national and international conferences, and has served as conference chairperson and keynote speaker at Oxford, London. She is an economist, economic expert, a state public service commission selection board, UGC nominee to the governing council of Guru Nanak Khalsa College 2019 to 2024, NAC assessor with multiple peer team visits, advisory board member of CEGR, ICA and INAAR, chairperson of Social Welfare Cell, honorary advisor member of ARDO and Journal Secretary, Women Division, International Jurist Council. Her award includes Shiksha Gaurav Puraskar 2016, Innovative Leader Award 2017, and Best Academician Award 2018. It's a pleasure, ma'am, to have you with us. And again, a very warm welcome and good morning. Now, ma'am, it's over to you.
Rohit, just a minute. Madam, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Namaskar. And we are really grateful and thankful to you that you have given your time, valuable time, in fact, because I came to know and you told me, in fact, that you were going through a NBA visit, which has finished yesterday only. And
yesterday it was
you are straight away ready for your show. Thank you so much once again, and we hope for a greater association in future in terms of any academic activities or other activities, and we want to be grow, in a different terms, and as well we want that our teachers and teachers from a variety of institutions across nation, across Delhi, they all must be benefited out of it. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Thank you, Anuradha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Anytime you are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So very good morning to all. And first of all, before I start with this session, I would like to congratulate Don Bosco Institute of Technology for organizing this FDP on such an apt area, which everybody we are looking for AI tools for teaching, learning and evaluation processes. And I must thank Dr. Vikas Rao, Director, Don Bosco Institute, for inviting me for this session here. And I would love to visit your institute, sir, sometime.
Most welcome, ma'am. Most welcome. Anytime. And I could see that there are 405 participants so far.
Yes,
and more will
and
join.
They are still joining. Many are still joining.
Right.
And it's a big achievement, sir.
Right.
Like getting so many participants in this FDP, because nowadays we see that there are 50, 60 participants maximum.
Right.
So it's a great achievement for your institute for having around 500 participants in this.
It is efforts of all my team members and all faculty and staff, those who are working along with me.
Yeah, and there are many from our institute also who have joined. I can see their name.
Yes.
And really lovely, being the part of this great FDP.
Thank you.
So this area, as we have seen, is very apt, very important. that is enabling teachers with AI tools and innovative approaches for effective teaching and learning process. So we will deliberate on this, and I would like to make it more interactive after like 1 hour, because I'll be speaking around 1 hour and then we will have more discussion. So if anything you have in your mind, you can share your views, and also if there is any question, any query, you can also ask from it. Just give me a second. Let me share my screen, and so that we can start. Sir, my screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
it is visible, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, so the topic which was given to me was AI ethics, safety, and institutional guidelines. And before I start with what is AI ethics, I would like to just mention brief about what I mean according to AI. Okay, so because there are two terms which we are using here, AI and ethics. So I would like to just speak a few lines about what is AI and what is ethics as I understand. And then we will discuss about more about what is AI ethics. So AI, according to me, refers to the simulation of human intelligence process by machines. And machines, I mean computers. And this process is used three things mainly. One step is the learning, and which we call it as machine learning, and that is acquisition of information by the machine. And second, after learning, it comes reasoning. That means use of rules to reach the conclusion of the data set which we have, made machine to learn. And the third that comes is about the self correction. And as we know, as a teacher also, that AI is used everywhere. As we discussed earlier, the theme itself says in teaching learning processes, AI is very much used. And there are many virtual assistants also that we have seen, like Siri, Alexa, and recommendation system on platform like Netflix, Amazon, etc. So what is AI? AI is like ability of a machine to perform cognitive functions associated with human mind. And AI can be like in two categories. We can divide this, like a rule based AI, which can be explained as expert AI, and which behave according to this set of rules which are already defined and created by human experts. Like, for example, like there are many e-commerce platforms that we see and which are rule-based AI, and they also provide product recommendations to this e-commerce platform. And another can be like learning-based AI, and learning based AI solves problems and adapts its functionality on its own, like based on in its human design configuration and testing. Like we talk nowadays about generative AI tools, like for example of learning based AI. So generative AI nowadays is very popular. Okay, so that was like my understanding about AI. And if we talk about ethics, then ethics, according to me, is the principle that guide individual and collective behavior in making decision which align with values and which is good for the society. And that is why, even in the new education policy now, we talk about value based education, we talk about professional ethics, we talk about more on ethics, human values, and it is all mandatory subjects now as per the new education policies, and we all are teaching these subjects. So treating humans as and not as a means. This was a philosophy, given by Professor Kant, and which, as I see, is the central principle of ethics now. Because there is always a trade-off between ends and means. Ends may be correct sometimes, and ends may be efficient, your outcome may be efficient, but means are also important, like how we achieve those ends. And means are ethical or not, the way you have achieved your outcome is ethical or not, is very important. Okay, so ethics should be there not only in achieving the end, but also how we achieve it, because each individual should be respected and things should be morally right. Okay, because we talk about right to do, like we have right to do something, we must have right to achieve something, but right to do versus right things to do. Okay, so right things to do becomes all the more important than what is right to do. Okay, so in AI also, we should follow the ethical framework, because if there is no then AI can be very, very harmful to the society, to the individual. So AI ethics play a very, very important role at every step of life. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss here during this 1 hour session. That what is the importance of ethics in AI? Okay, so ethical framework guide the development and deployment of AI technologies, ensuring that they serve humanity and prevent harm. So the principled approach not only addresses potential risk but also enhances the public trust. Because if it is ethical based, then obviously the public trust will be there and it will be safe to use those AI tools. And what is the impact of AI on society? And this is the main objective of my presentation today. So AI ethics, refers to the principles that govern AI behavior in terms of human values. Okay, so because it is human which are dealing with it, it is human on which the impact is there, it is human which belongs to the society. So therefore, human values becomes the central point of AI ethics, and it helps to ensure that AI is developed and used for the benefit of the society. Because since it deal with humans, and that humans require always compassion and empathy. Okay, because human being is not a data set. Okay, so that compassion, empathy, ethics play a very, very important role when we talk about AI. And who is responsible for AI ethics? And as per me, all all the stakeholders, whether it is a developer, whether it is a businessman, whether it is a government, or it is a consumer, or it is a society, all are responsible for AI ethics, and all have to follow the norms, and all are to be cautious about ethics behind the use of AI. Okay, so all of us collectively, all of us together should ensure that whatever is developed in AI should be ethical. And there will be ethical use of AI so that it will not harm the society. And if you see the concept, historical context and evolution, the concept of AI ethics has evolved, alongside technological advancement and reflecting society's changing values, and that also concern about the impact of AI in the society. Because see, if I take example, now can you imagine an AI system that predict the likelihood of future criminal behavior and which is used by judicial system? Okay, because now as you know that we are using AI everywhere, and what happens if this system disproportionately targets certain demographic group? So what will be the implication? Because if judicial system is dependent upon this artificial intelligence system, which is likely to predict the future behavior of the criminal or criminals future behavior, and if that is biased in nature, then that can bring very, very harmful impact on the society. Okay, so therefore ethical elements are very, very important, because there is always debate between law and ethics, or law versus ethics. Now if you talk about law, then law may set minimum standard, like it may set that rules and regulation that everybody is supposed to follow. Okay, but if you include ethics there, then that will set the highest standard that govern human behavior. Because you might be, support me if I say that there are many things which may be legally correct, but may not be ethically correct. Okay, so therefore, if we add ethics in developing our law, developing our rules, or developing AI, which is there for the benefit of the society, then to set the highest standard, it should to govern human behavior, it should be ethically correct. And ethics play a very, very important role there if you talk about the benefit of the society. So key principles of AI ethics, we can talk about like fundamental principles like fairness, accountability, transparency, and respect for privacy, ensuring that AI systems are designed responsibly and equitably. Now, if we talk about like core principles of AI ethics, the first and foremost, that which is core behind all, is the transparency, and which is one of the vital, principle of AI ethics. Because optimistic perspective on transparency is that if we are transparent in the design and implementation of AI system, then technology will benefit everyone in ethically and trustworthy ways. So if there is transparency in providing insights into decision making process, then that reduces mistrust and enables users to understand how AI ethics affect their life, laying the groundwork for responsible usage. And it includes clear communication of decision process, accountability and trust, documenting AI methodology, building foundation for policy and regulation. Like if you know about Google's What If tool, which is very much popular now, which is open source AI projects, and also like TensorFlow, PyTorch, which share code, steps, methodology, everything, which is very, very transparent system in which it is developed. So transparency is very important and core principle of AI ethics, because if everything is transparent, then trust can be built. You can find out where is the flaw, where is the problem. Okay, so this becomes the first and foremost principle of AI ethics. Another important principle of AI ethics is the core principle of fairness and bias. Now it means that decision making algorithm all individual and group equitably without any discrimination. Like as I mentioned, that if we are developing the AI system that predicts the likelihood behavior of the criminal, and it is used by judges to determine the punishment, and if it is disproportionately target the certain demographic groups, and if there is no fairness and bias in the system, then that will definitely put harm to the society. So AI ethics help mitigate unfair biases, remove barriers to accessibility, and augment creativity. And it also control misusing of AI that can harm to the individual and society. And now recently, IBM has developed AI fairness 360-degree toolkit, which offers various matrices to detect biases in machine learning models. So side by side with the advancement of technologies, with the advancement of AI, even there are companies, those who are thinking about these principles of AIs, and they are coming out with different tools which can find out whether the system, or which can detect whether the system is biased or whether fairness is there or not. Another core principle of AI ethics is accountability. That means establishing accountability mechanism ensures that developers and organization uphold ethical standards, and clear lines of responsibility are vital for addressing if there is any grievances or fostering ethical AI usage. And by promoting clear accountability, AI community fosters continuous learning and improvement. And by integrity, both democratic and bureaucratic element, organizations and society can build ethical framework that can benefit the society. So it means that what I meant to say here, that accountability is very important. Every time you cannot just go with the algorithms which are rule based or bureaucratic system. So there should be also democratic system where you can take the feedback from all the people, those who are using it. And if there is democratic system, mixture of democratic and bureaucratic system, then there will be more accountability in the system. Another core principle on which AI ethic works is privacy and data protection. Very, very important nowadays because we all are scared about what will happen to the data which are collected or what will happen to our personal data. So as AI system often rely on vast amounts of personal data, protecting this information is very critical. So ethical AI upholds individual privacy rights and implement robust data protection protocols. And that also includes like respecting user autonomy and consent, because users deserve to know how their personal data are collected, stored and used. Because if you are giving any personal information to any system, any software, you are always worried about how this personal information will be used. Okay, so the developer and the AI user should also respect this autonomy, and they should also take consent from the individual before taking any personal data, because enforced consent is essential. Another aspect here is that secure storage and data protection measures to be adopted, implementing advanced encryption techniques, regular security audits, which is very very important. And now encryption techniques are used everywhere where they are using AI, so that the data which is stored and collected should be protected from the misuse. Now, if I take example here, then in the healthcare AI system, which is used by the healthcare sector, is employed in diagnostic and treatment recommendation, are abide by strict data protection protocol to ensure patient privacy. Because if this AI is used in the healthcare sector or any sector for that matter, all personal data is collected, maybe related to their health, their problems, their personal data. So they are also strictly following the protocols so that they can enhance the privacy of the patient or the privacy of the personal data of the patient. Okay, so safety consideration in AI development, there are different safety considerations which are to be adopted. First is risk assessment and management. Like conducting thorough risk assessment identifies protocol, hazard associated with AI development, deployment, enabling organization to mitigate risk proactively and ensure that AI systems operate safely. Another is like safety protocols that already included, like implementing stringent safety protocols across the AI life cycle, including design, development, ensure consistent evaluation, reducing the likelihood of unintended consequences and enhancing security. Like as I mentioned, that principle of right to do versus right things to do. So what we are doing is important, but more important is how we are doing, whether we are doing right thing or not. Okay, so right thing means whether ethical practices are there or not. So it's necessary to see whether means were ethical or not, and ends versus means is very important because we are dealing with human behavior, we are dealing with human beings. So therefore not only your efficiency or your outcome is important, but also how this outcome has been achieved, what are the means to achieve that outcome, that efficiency, and that brings ethics there. Another safety consideration in AI development is potential misuse of AI technology. So it can be misused in various ways, from deep fakes to automated surveillance. Okay, so recognizing these potential abuses calls for robust governance structure to prevent harmful applications of technology. So by integrating comprehensive safety measures alongside technological advancement, AI communities create a future where systems are both powerful and safe. So, identifying AI related risk like recognize potential hazards such as data privacy issues, biases in algorithm, and security vulnerabilities that can arise from AI implementations. Another is like risk assessment that utilize structured approach like FAIR and NIST to systematically evaluate risk associated with AI technologies, ensuring comprehensive coverage of AI benefits. Another to have risk management is mitigation strategies for AI risk, like implement techniques such as regular audits, bias detection, and transparency measure to effectively reduce the potential impact of identified AI risk. Now, institutional guidelines for AI. Framework for ethical AI practices. First is developing robust framework and policies that guides AI research and application, establishing standards and prioritize human rights, safety, and ethical consideration across all AI projects. Then ethical committees should be there in every institution. Setting up of dedicated ethical committees allow for moral deliberations and assist organizations in navigating ethical dilemmas associated with their AI system and application. Even in the educational institution, that I will come in the later part of my discussion, like how as a teacher or as an educational institution, we are facing different challenges and how we can come out with those challenges, ethical challenges. Okay, then next is stakeholders engagement. As I already mentioned, that there should be democratic view of seeing things. So involving diverse stakeholders in decision making processes ensures that multiple perspectives are considered, fostering more inclusive approach to AI governance and that reflect societal values. Then, if we talk about regulations and compliance, then overview of global AI regulations, because examine key international frameworks and policies that govern artificial intelligence development and deployment. Then identify common obstacles companies face when trying to meet AI regulation and standards effectively. Because if we try to meet international standards, global standards, and global framework, then there are obviously many challenges that we face, in compliance of those framework which are developed by international agencies. Then highlight the potential risk of non-compliance, because adhering to the regulation becomes very, very important to have ethical use of AI. So therefore, we also need to highlight the potential risk of non-compliance, including legal repercussions and reputational damage if people are not using AI ethically or AI ethics is not followed as per the global standards. Then another measures can be collaboration across the sectors, like public-private partnership, foster innovation by combining resources and expertise from both the public and private sectors, leading to more effective solutions to the problem of AI ethics. Okay, then our academia can also play a very, very important role in AI ethics. We can contribute in critical research and framework to address ethical dilemmas in AI development, guiding responsible practices in the field of AI ethics. Then engaging the global community, okay, promote inclusivity and diverse perspective in AI initiatives, ensuring that technology's advancements benefits all stakeholders around the world. Now, what are the best practices for AI ethics and safety and guidelines for responsible AI implementations? Implementation strategies, like establishing clear implementation strategies based on ethical principles and safety protocols, and that ensures that AI technologies are developed and deployed responsibly within the organization. Okay, so implementation of strategy play a very, very important role in AI ethics and safety measures. Then institutional collaborations, as already covered, that public-private partnership. Okay, so that we can create a community dedicated to advancing ethical AI and addressing common challenges and collaboratively. Then continuous monitoring and assessment is very important because regularly assessing AI systems post development is vital to identify shift in their effectiveness and ethical implications, allowing for timely adjustment to practices and policies. Now, if we talk about tools for ethical AI, then framework and methodologies is very important. Then ethical AI assessment tool we should comply with as per global standard. Then resources for organization like assess a variety of guides, lines, articles, and training material to support organization in fostering ethical AI practices within their teams and within their system. Now, if we talk about ethical AI development, then best practices in AI design is important. Incorporate transparency, accountability in algorithms to build trust and ensure fairness. Then importance of diverse teams, because diverse teams bring varied perspective which can enhance creativity, lead to more inclusive AI solutions. Then stakeholders engagement in development is again very important because democratic view of seeing things and including all the views of all the stakeholders play a very important role in addressing all the issues related to AI ethics. Now, if you see the case study of ethical dilemma, learning from past mistakes, example of AI failure, like notable AI failures such as biased recruitment algorithm and facial recognition misidentifications. This can be there in any AI system, and all of us must have seen many a times, which exemplify the unintended consequences that can arise from the poor ethical consideration during the development. So, what lesson learned that analyzing these failures helps identify gaps in ethical framework and offering insights into how institutions can improve their practices and mitigate similar issues in future. And high profile ethical failures have spurred regulatory scrutiny and promoted organization to reevaluate their commitment to ethical practices, which influence the evolution of AI related legislations. Institutional guidelines driving responsible AI are like NIST standard, like Center for AI Standards and Innovation, publishes comprehensive risk-based mitigation guidelines for foundation models, establishing protocols to prevent misuse and ensure safety deployment. Then there is UK safety report also, which talks about international AI safety led by Joshua Bengio, which highlights breakthrough advances in technical safeguards, risk management framework for general purpose AI system. Then there is ISO 42001, which also see about emerging international standards which guide organization to align AI system with ethical principles, regulatory demands, and best practices for responsible innovation. Implementing ethical guidelines, like steps to integrate guidelines into practice. So we should develop a comprehensive framework that outlines ethical principles and how they apply to daily operations, ensuring clarity and consistency in application. Then measuring success in ethical AI, establish metrics and benchmark to assess the effectiveness of ethical guidelines, enabling organization to track their progress and identify areas of improvement. Then continuous improvement strategies should also be there, which create feedback loops, regular assessment to refine ethical practices, fostering an environment of ongoing learning and adaptation of new challenges. Role of education and awareness. Yes, awareness is very important about the use of AI ethics. So there is importance of AI ethics education, emphasizing the need for understanding ethical implications in AI to foster responsible usage and development. Then training programs for stakeholders, because it's very, very important. Like even this is also one of the training program that we are attending all, that FDP related to use of AI in teaching, learning and evaluation, and plus AI ethics also. So implementing targeted educational initiative for developers and policymakers, businesses to ensure informed decision making. And raising public awareness, like promoting knowledge about AI technologies and their societal impact to engage the general public and encourage, ethical decisions. So these are the role of education and awareness. Now, this is the most important part of my discussion today, because we are all teachers, those who are attending this. So teachers also face, several ethical challenges when using AI in educational setting. And these challenges can impact their teaching practices, student interactions, and overall educational outcomes also. So these are the some key ethical challenges that we also face as a teacher. First is data privacy and security. The challenge where all teachers often need to collect data and utilize student data to inform. So AI tools, ensuring the confidentiality and security of this data is paramount to avoid unauthorized access and potential misuse. Okay, because many a times even students also ask us like why you want this data, how this data will be utilized. Okay, so this is again a big challenge for any educational institution. And implication can be like breaches of privacy can result in legal consequences, and which can violate trust, impacting the student teacher relationship also. And later, after 10-15 minutes of my presentation, we can discuss over this. And I think you must have also faced many a times this type of situation where there is a dilemma and where we face problems like and challenges of collecting and utilizing student data, okay, to inform AI tools. Another challenge that we also face is the bias and fairness. Like challenge is that as AI system become more integrated into teaching practices, there may be pressure on teachers to conform to AI recommendation and insights, potentially undermining their professional judgments. And what is the implication of this? That this reliance on AI could diminish teachers' sense of autonomy and reduce their ability to make individualized decision based on their knowledge of students. So sometimes, AI give you some results, and this is on the basis of, like as I mentioned that there is AI which is rule based and AI which is, judgment based. So this implication is that sometimes they give us that result, that decision, which, diminish the teacher's sense of autonomy. So this is again a challenge for teachers in the educational institution for using, AI. Then impact on another is transparency and explainability. What challenge we face that many AI operates as black boxes and making it difficult for teachers to understand how decisions are made, like for example in grading or personalized learning recommendations. Okay, so if everything is automated and we are using AI, so it becomes difficult to understand like how these decisions are made, how grades are given to the students. And what is the implication of this challenge is that there is lack of transparency, and which can hinder teachers' ability to effectively explain AI based outcome to students and parents, and potentially that can lead to distrust and mistrust in the system. Another is loss of professional autonomy. Okay, so we as a teacher, we always look for the autonomy. And the challenge here is that as AI system become more integrated into teaching practices, there may be pressure on teachers to conform to AI recommendation and insights, and potentially undermining their professional judgments. And the implication of this can be the reliance on AI could diminish teachers' sense of autonomy and reduce their ability to make individualized decision based on their knowledge of students. So this again can be one of the challenge when we are using more of AI. So I my purpose here is to just say that AI cannot replace, teachers. This can complement the teaching system, that can complement the system, but that cannot be the replacement of the teachers. So, impact on student learning and engagement. The challenge is that increasing use of AI tools may impact traditional teaching methods and interpersonal interactions, and potentially leading to disengagement among students who prefer hands on learning. So, what I mean to say here is that use of AI is good for in teaching learning, but it cannot be there cannot be excess use of AI tools, because that can impact on student learning and engagement. And the implication is that over reliance on AI could create a less interactive and personalized learning environment, and which is crucial for student development, because everything cannot be mechanical, everything cannot be automated, and therefore that personal touch in the student learning is very, very important. Next is academic integrity and ethics. The challenge that teachers face is the availability of AI tools that can assist in completing assignments may lead to issues regarding academic integrity and student dishonesty. And teachers must navigate how to incorporate AI responsibly while fostering a culture of integrity among students. Because nowadays, that when we give assignments to students, or when students are supposed to write the dissertation, so they use AI tools, they copy it completely, okay, and that may lead to academic problem of issues regarding academic integrity. And that is why again we have to use AI tools for plagiarism check, and then we say that, and that also now AI enabled plagiarism check, that how much is copied from AI. So these things are again a big challenge to academic integrity and ethics for teachers specifically. Then informed consent and autonomy. The challenge is that student may not fully understand the implication of using AI tools for the extent to their data usage. Then obtaining informed consent from students and parents can be again a complex thing, because lack of clarity can lead to ethical dilemmas regarding the autonomy of students in their learning processes and the use of their personal data. Another challenge that we face nowadays by more of AI, that is equity of access. Like there is a risk that AI based tools may not be accessible to all students evenly, because particularly those from underprivileged background who may lack access to technology or internet. Then differences in access can exacerbate existing educational inequalities and create barriers to learning. Then another issue challenge is quality of AI solutions. We talk about AI, we talk about AI solution, but what about the quality of AI tools, AI solutions that we are using? Because not all AI tools are equally effective, and teachers may face pressure to adopt specific solutions without adequate evidence of their efficacy in improving learning outcomes. And the implication of this can be like teachers must critically evaluate the quality of AI solutions to ensure that they meet the needs of their students. Okay, because it is not that one fit everybody. It should be customized, it should be on the need based, it should be depending upon the situation, depending upon the level of students. So, therefore, quality of AI solutions is a subjective term here, and it should be suitable to the environment. Another issue is navigating ethical dilemmas. The challenge is that teachers may encounter scenarios where AI system present ethical dilemmas, such as conflicting recommendations or issues of accountability. And that may lead to like teachers need to be prepared to address these dilemmas in a way that align with educational ethics and their professional responsibilities, because sometimes we cannot just rely upon AI tools, and many a times we have seen that they give conflicting recommendations, okay, which may not be that ethical or may not be uh, fitting that ethical norms of the institution. And in that case, we need to address these dilemmas, and we need to
Yes.
align with our educational ethics and our professional responsibilities.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
creating institutional guidelines for AI ethics in education is essential for fostering a responsible and safe environment for students and educators. So, according to me, these are some of the structured guidelines with example to illustrate practical applications in the educational institutions. First is data privacy and security, and all user data like student and faculty must be collected, stored, and utilized in compliance with relevant privacy laws. Okay, because institutions should develop their privacy laws, that how and who will be using this data. For example, like implement strict access control for student data using encrypted databases for storage. Regular audits should be conducted to ensure compliance with FAIRPA or GDPR. These are the global guidelines to protect the data or encrypting those data, so that this data should not be misused by anybody in the organization. So this is a very, very important guidelines. Okay, then transparency in AI use, that clearly communicate the purpose and functionalities of AI systems used within the institution. Okay, so proper communication, proper functionality, proper use has to be, declared, or the system should be proposing all these guidelines. For example, like provide detailed user manual and orientation sessions for teachers and students, which explains how AI grading system work and how they affect student assessments. Because ignorance about this system again will be a big challenge for teachers. So therefore, the system of AI grading system and how it works, how it affects the assessment should be very, very clearly and in a very, very transparent way should be explained to all the teachers and all the students, okay, before starting with this. And proper manual and should be created, and orientation sessions should be conducted. Then bias mitigation, like regularly evaluate AI algorithm for bias and take proactive steps to mitigate any identified issues. For example, like conduct audits of AI tools to check for disparities in performance regarding different demographic groups, and adjust algorithms and training data according to ensure equity in the outcome. Then academic integrity, establish policies for the acceptable use of AI tools in academic work to prevent cheating and plagiarism, as I mentioned, because many a time students will just copy paste, okay, or they use Chat GPT for preparing, their assignments or preparing their report or dissertation. So therefore, again, we have to establish policies for acceptable use of AI tools in academic work. For example, develop a framework outlining what constitutes acceptable assistance from AI in assignments, such as using AI for research, but prohibiting its use for generating entire essays. Okay, so use of AI is not bad. Okay, it is not that will hamper your academic integrity or academic intelligence, but how we use it, how much we have to use it, that is again very important. Then impact assessment of AI tools. Okay, before integrating new AI tool, conduct impact assessment to evaluate how they will influence teaching methods and learning environment. For example, like before adopting an AI tutoring system, conduct trials to examine its effects on student engagement and learning outcomes compared to traditional methods. Because you cannot just remove human touch. You cannot just remove, engagement, student faculty engagement. Because, and for that, you have to have system, of conducting trials to examine its effects on student engagement, because in otherwise that will adversely impact on the learning system, learning environment. Then continuous improvement and professional development require ongoing training for faculty members concerning AI technologies and ethical consideration. Okay, like this type of faculty development programs. It should be done in a very, very frequent way so that you can educate faculty regarding AI technologies and their ethical considerations. Okay, because for example, like implement a workshop, seminar focusing on AI ethics, showcasing successful case studies of realistic AI applications in classrooms is very, very important for their professional development. The next is inclusive AI development, like foster collaboration with diverse stakeholders in the AI tool selection and evaluation process to ensure inclusiveness. For example, create a review panel comprised of educators, students, parents, and AI experts for evaluating the adoption of new technology in the curriculum, because curriculum should also have this technology. And now in the new education policy, that there are courses on skill based courses, okay, ability enhancement courses. So, and skill is very, very important nowadays. So you cannot just do away with AI tools, you cannot do away with technology. So that should also be the part of curriculum, that should also be the part of teaching learning system, that should also be the part of pedagogy in the classroom. And we can make use of AI tools in your teaching learning, as you have attended all the sessions, and these were the themes of this FDP. Okay, so inclusive AI development is very, very important. So we should also take on board all the different educators from different areas, students also, because ultimately the thing has to go to students, then parents, and AI experts for evaluating the adoption of new technology and the curriculum, as well as in the evaluation framework or in the teaching pedagogies also. Then student involvement and education. So educate students about AI ethics, emphasizing critical thinking about its use and implications. For example, like integrate AI ethics modules into the curriculum that discusses topics like data privacy, biases, and future of work in the AI-driven economy is very, very important. But what we do, we just talk about technology, okay, and we ignore the another part of ethics. So ethics should play a very, very important role in the curriculum also, okay, so that this use of AI should not harm the society, should not harm the individual. Then emergency protocols for AI failures. Establish protocols for addressing the failures of or unexpected behavior of AI systems upon their deployment. So, for example, create an action plan that includes emergency contacts and procedures for students and faculty to report if there is any AI related issues, ensuring a swift response and minimizing disruption in the system. Then evaluation and continuous improvement, which is very, very important. Everywhere we talk about continuous improvement, okay, and even not only in the system, not only in the AI, but also in the education outcome also. And we talk about outcome based education. So whether it is a NAC or NB or any accreditation, NIRF, we talk about continuous improvement, and our graph should go upward. And continuously, we should improve in terms of outcome, in terms of technology. Okay, so that also needs evaluation, monitoring system. So regularly assessing and updating AI ethical guidelines based on feedback and new technologies and evolving norms. For example, schedule annual reviews of AI policies, incorporating feedback from students and staff on their experiences and challenges with AI systems. So regular review should be there, because if there is a committee which is ethical committee in use of AI, so they can have regular meetings, regular reviews, feedback on the use of AI policies and incorporating feedback from students and all the stakeholders on their experience can solve many problems. Okay, so to conclude my session, and I would like to take questions and more discussions we can have if you have anything to add. That the presentation we have underscored the necessity of embedding ethical consideration into every phase of AI deployment and governance, fostering responsible innovation. Then call to action for institutions like stakeholders across industries must commit to ethical practices, invest in training and resources, and establish governance structure that prioritize ethical AI usage. And as AI continues to evolve, continuous dialogue, adaptation, and commitment to ethical standards will be imperative for aligning technology with societal goals. So that's all from my side, and I would love to, take the questions, or if you have anything to add.
Thank you so much, ma'am. What an insightful session you had. I would like to request the participant to kindly post their questions in the chat box so I can read it further to ma'am.
Because, see, according to me, I think more than lecture, it should be interactive session. So
Absolutely.
that can open up our mind and we can have more discussion. You can also share your insights, all the faculty member, those who are attending, because it should not be one way. There cannot be monologue, okay, in the FDP. FDP means that if you are participating in interaction, that is always better. So my objective was here to talk more about the teachers, because we are teachers and we face many challenges when we use AI. Okay, so how to come out with those dilemmas and those challenges? Because see, you have attended many sessions on use of AI tools in teaching, learning, AI tools in evaluation system, but it is not that simple and that easy. Okay, because it has many challenges when we use this, as I talked about, like that can challenge the autonomy of a teacher. Sometimes there is a dilemma that there is a contradictory statements that are given through AI. So there are many problems that we face. So it is our duty again to come out with those situations and how we can use best use of these tools, okay, to complement our traditional teaching, not replacing our traditional teaching.
Absolutely.
Traditional chalk and duster teaching will always be there. Okay, whatever technology is there, whatever development is there, so that
Ab-
cannot be replaced any time, according to me. Okay, still I use chalk and duster, whatever level of technology is there, and we incorporate technology. It's not that we are outdated, we are not using it, because now we cannot survive without technology. Okay, so this is always there. So thank you so much. And if there is anything to add, I'll be happy to listen from any of you. You
Sure,
can
ma'am.
just unmute yourself, and if any question also, I would happy to take your question, or anything you want to add, any discussion we can take further. Yes.
We do have questions, ma'am. And let me read it for you. From Miss Ritika Mehra, we have a question. What should be the key component of institutional guidelines for the ethical and responsible use of AI in education?
See, key component, as I've already mentioned, key component, first of all, for ethical use, it should be transparent. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Transparent means everybody should know for what purpose it is developed, how it is developed, what will be the implication. Okay. So first is, and it should be bias free. Secondly, it should also include what is the limit that AI tools will be used. Like suppose, for example, if we talk about student dissertation or sometimes student teaching in the class also. Okay, sometimes like I said that there is always a dilemma between ends and means.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
we talk about ends, we more focus on the outcome. But what about how this outcome has achieved? So means are also equally important there. Okay, so means here I mean that how we have gone about it, how we have achieved that. Because see, human beings are involved everywhere. Okay, impact is also on humans, on the society developed by humans. So this ethical guideline should also include all these parameters. So even if you are talking about, like, sometimes as a teacher, okay, don't quote me, but sometimes what happens is we go in the class and we prepare lecture through chat GPT throughout. So what is the level of satisfaction that we get after completing? Our lecture is over, we can deliver the lecture for 1 hour, but what about our internal satisfaction? Are we satisfied after taking that, or have we at least checked whatever information we are getting is correct or not? Because sometimes we get result which may not be correct. Okay,
True,
because
ma'am.
after all it's a machine. Okay, so therefore, ethical practices here, it should include that what should be the level of engagement through AI. Okay, and suppose if it is a student dissertation, then, or a PhD thesis, also it is always written that plagiarism up to 10% or up to 20% is acceptable, not beyond that. Okay, so these are the different aspects which should be covered in the ethical policy, and rest it depends upon place to place, okay, system to
Great.
system, how much use is there, it depends upon that, so it has to be customized.
Exactly, ma'am. And the next question we are having in line from Miss Priyanka Mavi. The question is, how can institution ensure that AI adoption enhance learning outcome without compromising academic integrity and data privacy?
I think the question is same, like without compromising academic integrity, means there should be transparency in the system. Proper orientation should be done. Okay, all students, all stakeholders, teachers, they should know about how the evaluation or grading has been done. Okay, how and what is the use of the AI. So I think it's a similar type of question. So almost the same points I can say about that, so that we cannot compromise with the academic integrity.
True, ma'am. And the next question we are having from Miss Sakshi. Ma'am, she says, as an educator, how can we model ethical and responsible AI usage for student within existing institutional framework?
How can you just repeat?
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Uh, so she says, how can we model ethical and responsible AI usage for student within existing institutional framework?
Yes. See, ethical AI usage. See, I'll tell you one thing. AI can be used for information. Okay, like suppose, for example, any tool that we use nowadays, whether it is a chat GPT or any tool, okay, so it is for the information. You get all the information which is available to everyone. Okay, anybody can scroll on, or anybody can, search on Google or search on chat GPT, and you will find all the details. So ethical use is that information is one thing, knowledge is beyond this. Okay, so role of a teacher within that ethical framework is that we should utilize that information, giving the practical or application of that information to the students. See, for example, like nowadays there is a big challenge of attendance in the class. Okay, students are not interested in attending classes, and this is a universal problem, not problem of one place. So what is the reason behind that? Can you just introspect about this thing? Because see, this is the era of information. If you just speak about only those things which is available everywhere, then why the student will attend class? So what is the ethical use of a teacher here within the institutional framework, that this information we have to convert into, knowledge, or convert into critical thinking? So nowadays role of teacher has changed. Role of a teacher is not just sharing information, because information is available there. Okay, everywhere it is available. So if you repeat the same thing, so it is not ethical also. You cannot attract students to the class also. So therefore our role is now to make student think. Okay, to make them critically think, give them food for thought, make them think, so that they can utilize this information from information to knowledge, creating knowledge. Okay. So now what I suggest always to my teachers, that we should think about project to product now. Okay, project to product. Project, that means information is available. That project we are prepared. We always claim that our students have prepared this, our students have done this. But what is the benefit to the society after doing that? So that should be converted into product. And that will be done only by adding knowledge or adding your critical thinking there. Okay, so that is the formula that I always talk about, project to product or passion to profession. So not necessary that everybody is good at everything. So whatever is passion, we can also convert that into profession. So this type of things, as within the institutional guidelines of ethics, as a teacher, we can do justice to the students and to the stakeholders.
Indeed, insightful, ma'am. And we are having another question, yet interesting, from Mr. Pradeep Kumar Singh. He says, who should be responsible, the company who built the tool or the user who have used it to commit the crime?
I've already answered this question when I started. Who is responsible for AI ethics? So all are responsible at every stage. Everybody is responsible. Okay. For developing AI, the developers are responsible that it should be ethically developed. All ethical norms should be taken care there while developing. Then users also, and not only users, even the society is also responsible. Okay, because if users are not using it ethically, then it becomes the responsibility of the society also, okay, to question that. So not only developers, but users, corporate houses, government, society, everybody is responsible for AI ethics. Okay, so not only just one person or only the developer, all. If you find any fault, it is your responsibility to make them know that yes, this is not ethically developed, or this is not, ethically use of this AI in the system. So all are equally responsible.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And the next question we are having from Mr. Abdul Hakim Khan. What is your perspective on the ethical use of AI-enabled tool in academia, particularly when educators review and validate the content before it is used or assessed?
So my view is on AI use. I'm also in favor of use of AI, and we should be updated every time whenever there is new technology coming in. Okay, so I'm not at all against the AI use, but on use we should intelligently use that. Okay, and ethically use. We cannot just 100% rely upon the AI tools. Okay, AI tools should be the facilitator. It should not be used in a way that you block your mind, you just close your mind, and you just totally rely upon whatever output or outcome is given by the technology. No.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it should be a facilitator, it should not be a regulator. And you understand the difference between facilitator and the regulator. Okay,
Absolutely.
so we should use as a facilitator, we should use as the advancement of the system, not just the replacement of everything. Okay, still, we use reading books. And I always say that even though there are many softwares which we can, summarize the books, summarize the notes, write anything for you, but still, reading comprehensively is still important.
Very true, ma'am. Very true. And with this, I like to thank you, ma'am, for such an insightful and practically enhancing session. Your insight on AI ethics, safety, and institutional guidelines have provided us with a strong moral and policy oriented framework for adopting artificial intelligence in education. You have clearly emphasized the importance of responsible use, academic integrity, data privacy, and institutional accountability, guiding us to balance innovation and ethical responsibility. With this, I would like to call Mr. Tilak Dev Mukherjee, Assistant Professor DBIT, to extend the vote of thanks to Professor Anuradha Jain, Principal WIPS. Sir, over to you.
Namaskar and good morning to all respected dignitaries, resource persons, faculty members, and dear colleagues. Hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Perfectly.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. As we come to the conclusion of the first session of the day, titled as AI Ethics, Safety, and Institutional Guidelines of the ongoing faculty development program, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I, Tilak Dev Mukherjee, representing Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Delhi, extend heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Professor Anuradha Jain, Principal, Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, Delhi, affiliated to GGS IPU Delhi, for sharing an invaluable knowledge and insights. Madam's inspiring session helped all of us to understand not only the technological dimensions of artificial intelligence, but also the ethical responsibilities, safety concerns, and institutional frameworks essential for its responsible adoption. My sincere thanks go to the management and institutional leadership, especially our chairman, respected Father Professor Sajan M. George, Chief Financial Officer, Father Biju Akiletu, our Visionary Director, Professor Vikas Rawadi, Vice Principal, Professor Shalu Tandon, Registrar, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, for the constant encouragement and support in organizing such forward-looking program that empower faculty members to stay aligned with the global developments. I would also like to thank the HODs, the heads of the departments, Dr. Azjad Usmani, Dr. P.K. Nayak, Dr. Amandeep Singh Arora, and program coordinators, Dr. Charanpreet Kaur and Dr. Santosh Kumar Singh, other faculty members and staff for their cooperation throughout. I also like to thank the conveners, co-conveners of this FDP, along with the other organizing members, including the technical support for their meticulous planning and seamless execution of this session. Their dedication and commitment ensured that the session, including this one, all the sessions, including this one, were informative, engaging, and highly relevant to the evolving academic and professional landscape. I would also like to acknowledge all the participants for their active involvement, insightful questions, and enthusiastic participation, which greatly contributed to the success of this session. This session of the ongoing FDP has truly enriched our understanding and reinforced the importance of ethical and safe AI practices in academia. I personally thank the organizing committee to consider me to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you all for making this session a meaningful, learning, and memorable experience. Jai Hind.
Tilak, just a minute. Let me thank Professor Anuradha Jain once again from bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a wonderful session. There is no doubt, and I am sure that we all will be associating in future for this common beneficiary task which are there for the faculty development programs, and ultimately which helps society, and ultimately which helps in achieving that mission which is there for our great nation, India. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with this, I again thank you, ma'am, to gracing the occasion with your presence. And I would request all the participants to please turn on their cameras so we can have a group photograph with our guest. Again, a sincere request to all the participants to please turn on their camera so we can have this photograph. Thank you so much. So with this, I like to conclude the session. And again, I would request to please stay tuned with us for the next session and be on time, and do not forget to fill your feedback form. That would be an eminent thing for your certification. And again, thank you, ma'am, for the session. And with this, we end here.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I know you are, definitely. Thank you so much. Yes. How confident you are about yourself. Very good.